Worldcoin, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We have another week of premium research. What is Worldcoin? Where did it come from? How long has this been working on? Is this something we should be hodling, or is this something we should be spreading some FUD about? Much more than just that. We are going to be diving into Worldcoin and why it just took over the entire crypto world by storm. If you are watching this and you are not part of the Crypto Night Premium gang, just know that every single week, multiple times a week actually, because we have multiple creators in this premium Discord, we go over this kind of alpha and more, trying to level up everyone, including myself, right? This research, these classrooms encourage me to actually delve deep into different cryptocurrencies so that I also understand it. So everyone is benefiting from this symbiotic relationship we got. I gotta take a sip here. We'll get right into Worldcoin. Some beautiful research here. It's very, very interesting, but should it be something in our portfolio? What is it? Worldcoin, ticker symbol WLD, is a governance token built on top of Ethereum, which utilizes optimism. So it is not a blockchain in and of itself. It is in fact built on top of Ethereum. Another reason why it is justifiable, in my opinion, to be bullish on Ethereum. You keep seeing project after project after project built on top of it. This is a quote directly from Worldcoin's website. If successful, we believe Worldcoin could drastically increase economic opportunity, scale a reliable solution for distinguishing humans from AI online while preserving privacy, enable global democratic processes, and eventually lead to UBI. Now, there's a lot to unpack there. I highlighted a part that I liked paying attention to that I really want to dive into. It's a scalable, reliable solution for distinguishing humans from AI. We all have seen it. AI is becoming increasingly more powerful, and it literally just began being available to the public. Look at how fast it's excelling at this point. Being able to differentiate between a deep fake and what someone actually said online, or knowing who is a bot and who's not a bot, is going to become paramount in everything. It's going to be extremely important. So I like that they're going after something like this. This is a market that I think needs to be filled. It's interesting because they say it's a potential path to AI-funded universal basic income. And we'll dive deeper into that as well, but the idea that AI and AGI are going to take over jobs and lead a lot of people without jobs has led many people, especially in crypto, to kind of come to terms with the fact that there will likely be some level of universal basic income. This project initially was just focused on that, but as this problem started to arise, distinguishing between humans and AI, they kind of shifted a little bit. So, World ID Protocol started in 2019 by Sam Altman and many other people, because you never just start something by yourself. He is the CEO of OpenAI, or ChatGPT. You guys have definitely used ChatGPT. If you haven't, you're behind the 8 ball here. He's the CEO of that company who created ChatGPT. He was also the former president of Y Combinator, which is the largest venture capitalist firm in the United States. If you are not familiar with YC, you absolutely should familiarize yourself with it, because if you watch what they're doing, oftentimes you'll find some good success, or at least have a little bit of a competitive edge knowing what VCs are up to. I have his complete history here. If you guys want to dive into it, he's got a very impressive resume. We're not going to spend much the entire time here looking at this, but like one unique thing about him, MacBook helped him find his sexuality when he was 16. So very unique life. He's been coding since he was 8, I believe, and he's just had success after success after success. So the resume is top notch. He's got a good resume there. Initially, Worldcoin was there to solve universal basic income. It's kind of shifted towards digital identity. Generally speaking, I don't like when projects start shifting, especially after only 4 years of development. When the goal of a project starts shifting, it starts making me ask, like, hey, are they here for the right reasons? Or are they literally just trying to come after some money? Shout out The Bachelorette, are you here for the right reasons? This is kind of how the ecosystem works. So, well, not kind of, this is directly from their white paper. So this is how the ecosystem works. You got the token up here. which is hosted on Ethereum wallets on Optimism. You gain access to the World app. In the World app, you'll get user identities. You will have verification that you are in fact a real person. The way that they do this is where it gets a little bit sketchy out here. I guess I was getting a little bit excited right there. They're using eye scans to scan your retina to be able to biometrically confirm that you are a person and not a bot, right? The bot theoretically wouldn't have any eyeballs, theoretically. It gets pretty, it's intriguing, and they claim that once you scan your eyeball, all of that information is deleted. And they don't keep track of that. They just use it to give you a verification through ZK rollups, that ZKP, zero knowledge proofs, that you are a human, and then they delete the data and you just keep that proof. That way the data's gone, you don't have to worry about that leaking, and you have what you need to have in order to verify yourself. There's problems with that, which Vitalik actually pointed out, and we will get into that in a minute. Maybe not problems, but concerns, right? So as AI gets better, it's becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish between bots and a real person, as evidenced by Mario, that Twitter host. He's going through a lot of drama right now. You guys are definitely familiar with that if you've been on Twitter at all. He hosts a lot of Twitter spaces, and a lot of people are calling him out for having bots in his Twitter spaces. Then we have fake scam accounts of any creator. If you follow me literally anywhere, you will see countless fake that investors, fake PS cryptos. If you follow any creator, you will see so many. It's mind-boggling that they just exist, and there's not really an efficient way to deal with them because they pop up so easily, and like the verification system that we just have in place right now is not super good. So this could be a way to deal with that, having some biometrically linked accounts. This also for bot accounts or bot attacks, right? People will purchase a bunch of bots to go spam report a page and get it taken down, or just give them a bunch of followers and trigger the algorithms to take it down. Then you got things like airdrops. This would make sure that bot accounts aren't receiving multiple airdrops and then just combining into one organic account. You would have to confirm you're a human to get the airdrop. Voting in governance, which is very, very unique what's happening with this. Right now, when you have a governance token, each token counts as one vote, which is a step in the right direction. Thumbs up from me, generally speaking, but this is a little bit better. This doesn't matter how many coins you have. It matters that you are a person, you have one verified account, you get one vote. So you could have 1 million coins, you could have 1 coin, you get that 1 vote. I like it. I would love to see other projects pick up on that a little bit more. Advertisers trusting organic views. That's more so like the economy side of it. Why? Because these are all cool things, but this is like user experience. Why would corporations and kind of the infrastructure of society want to partake in this? And that's because you could verify organic views versus bot views, which brings us into a little bit more of competition speak. This is not the only project doing each one of these things. Okay, so don't think it's a super unique project. There are other projects out there doing it. The question is, is Worldcoin doing it better? Does Worldcoin able to rely on their founder to have better connections? Who's going to succeed? Cryptographic encryptions is likely the answer. I had written this a while ago. I don't know that. No, I'll get into it in a minute when we actually talk about concerns. So, the orb. What the hell is the orb? The orb is how Worldcoin is scanning individuals' eyes. So you go to these predetermined locations which have the orbs at them, and you will scan your eye. The reason for this is because they claim that a phone, a piece of technology like what we have in our pockets, is not a strong enough camera to actually be able to scan the retina of our eye with enough detail to create like that certainty that it's not a duplicate eye. So you have to go to the orb and get your eye scanned there. A little bit, not just a little bit sketchy. This is very sketchy because we have no information on these orbs. We don't know how they're made necessarily. We just have to trust that the company who made them, the company that patented the technology, which what's his name, Sam, also owns that company. So it's just a level of centralization when it comes to this. And generally speaking, when you add centralization, you add a little bit of trust. So these places are everywhere. It's unique because they have a ton of them in the United States. There's 11 locations in the United States, even though US citizens are not allowed to claim the coin drop. If you scan your eye and create an identity and you are not a US citizen, you get 25 of these wild coins. I know they're not wild coins, they're WLD coins, but my dyslexic brain looks and sees wild coins. So it's interesting to me because they're trying to harvest user data within the United States to create identities on their network without giving them any of the incentive to sign up. Food for thought. Food for thought. Freedom versus convenience, right? A lot of people are not going to be a fan of having their irises scanned for a little bit of cryptocurrency. It's just facts. A lot of people are not going to be okay with that. A lot of people in crypto are not going to be okay with that, I should say, because generally speaking, the world, the average person, the normies outside of crypto could care less. It's freedom versus convenience. Look at how many freedoms we've given up as a society for a little bit extra convenience. Like seriously, think about it. Most people have an Alexa or some level of a smart home. We just saw that McDonald's is attempting to get approval to advertise to us in our dreams through some of these technologies we have in our house. Like, people are giving up a lot of freedoms just for the convenience. I don't see this as being anything different if they can get enough incentivization, if they can actually get some utility behind it. I would see that the masses giving up some level of freedom. And 2 million people already have. I have this chart here just to show you that like biometrics can be anything other, like it's not just your eye, it's just you, it's unique to you. So fingerprints, facial recognition, voice recognition, eye scanners, these are all biometrics. This goes into where I was saying that they claim to delete the data after, and you can go in and verify that for yourself. There's no personal information required, so they don't need KYC, they just need to know that you're a person. And then I want to go to home here for every human. So they've just over 2 million World ID signups. It's interesting though because the equivalent in coins has not been distributed. The equivalent in coins has not been distributed, which means that not everyone who's signing up is actually claiming these coins, and that's probably because a lot of people in the United States are signing up. 2 days since launch. That's kind of crazy. For more human internet, for more human blockchain protocol. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. I got distracted here. The distribution of this coin is part of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of it. Only 1% of the supply is actually in circulation right now. We can actually go see the tokenomics specifically. The vesting schedule for this coin is very, very gated. It's not readily available to see how this coin is going to vest over the next couple years. You can see like some estimates. All right, well, I'll be right back. It's open. I locked my girlfriend out, and she was getting mad. She started throwing stuff at the window right then. Okay, so the WLD supply is capped at 10 billion tokens for 15 years. The point of the governance of the network can decide to implement an inflation rate of 1.5% as they see fit once that time has reached after the 15 years. At launch, the maximum circulating supply was 143 million coins, 43 million to be allocated for those 25 coins per each person who signs up and hands over their biometric data to be in the database. 100 million is given to loans for liquidity for non-US market makers. So the vast majority of the circulating supply is given for liquidity so that people can actively trade this coin. 75% of the tokens have been earmarked for the community, or 13.5% for investors, 9.8% for the initial development team, and 1.7% in reserve. Not that long ago, I think just a couple days ago, the team actually voted to raise the allocation for insiders from 20% to 25%, which rattled a lot of people. A lot of people were not a fan of that. You can see on Dune.com here, this is a massive red flag for me. The unlock supply schedule. So, over the next few years, do you see how massive of a spike that is? That 14, let me see, where are the numbers? I don't want to misquote the numbers. 143 million coins in circulation versus 10 billion at the end of 15 years. So you can see that most of those coins are coming out by the end of this decade. So over the next 7 years, over the next 6 years, we're going to see an excessive amount of coins from this project dumped onto the market. I think they're trying to anticipate a lot of people signing up and a lot of people trying to become part of the community, which makes a lot of sense. If that sign up initial bonus gives you that 25 coins, it makes a lot of sense for most of these coins to come out. The lockup periods are just extremely weird and very, very difficult to find explicit details about any of it. Now, should we be hodling or should we be fudding? Hodl or FUD? That is the question. Vitalik's take. I highly recommend you go and read his entire take. He posted an entire blog point about this. He and I share a decent amount of opinions on this. His are obviously a little bit more intricate and data-based than mine. He believes full-heartedly that this is a good thing to have, the proof of personhood. We need to have some sort of encryption cryptographically that validates humans versus non-humans. It's going to be in order for our society to continue to function, we're going to need something like this. He's got concerns over Worldcoin specifically, though. Privacy, accessibility, centralization, and security, which I think are beautifully orchestrated concerns. So, the registry of iris scans may reveal information. At the very least, if someone else scans your iris, they can check it against the database to determine whether or not you have a world ID. Potentially, iris scans might reveal more information. So they say they're deleting some of the information. What happens if they have a level of a backdoor? Kind of like how Ledger had that ability to pull our seeds out to split it up over third parties. A lot of people seem to have forgotten about it because convenience, right? People will give up a level of security or freedom for an extra added to convenience here. It's very possible that your privacy is not as protected as you think, especially when it's centralized from these orb hardware devices. Not everyone in the world is going to be able to go do this either. Only people who are close to one of the locations or have the means to travel to one of the locations or have people traveling to them are going to be able to sign up on it. It's a centralized entity. World IDs are not going to be readily accessible unless there are so many orbs that anyone in the world can easily go to one. And then security. Users' phones could be hacked. Users could be coerced into scanning their irises while showing a public key that belongs to someone else. You could possibly 3D print fake people's eyes and create identities. And in fact, there are already identities that are being sold on the secondary markets. So some of these are already coming to fruition. The founder of CryptoQuant just outright called it a scam. Worldcoin, I'll scan everyone's irises in the world except for the people in the US because they know this is illegal. They quoted just a harsh regulatory environment in the United States, but he's got a little bit of a point there. To be fair, US people can scan the iris, but they receive 0 tokens, 0 incentive to do so. Another point that I want to bring up, okay? Most of these 2 million people who have scanned for Worldcoin, where is the website? Most of these 2 million unique humans around the world are in developing countries where, I'm sorry, but The coins are $2 a piece right now. 25 of these coins is 50 bucks. If you're making $1 to $2 a day, $50 is a lot to sign up for something like this. So it's like you have a certain level of efficacy where you can't incentivize people to do something like that. It's unethical to provide someone who is missing $1,000 on their rent payment. If you were to go say, I'll give you $1,000 if you go fill in whatever your dirty mind wants to fill in, so they're gonna do it because they need that $1,000. So people are more willing. It's unethical to coerce someone in a position of need. And so if you're going to third world countries, yes, it's a difficult line to teeter because like that is your target market where you're trying to bring these people on and give them digital identities. But there is an argument, there is something to be said about what level of coercion is happening here. And then Blockworks calls it a fraud, despite accusations of fraud. I'm claiming that at least, yeah. You can feel free to read through this. It's very, oh, here it is. Dune dashboard, get out of here. From the Worldcoin team boasts 878,000 wallets on Optimism network. However, the total token supply of Optimisms is just 177 million tokens compared to Ethereum's 10 billion, and Uniswap v3 DEX pool on Ethereum laps in Optimism pool volume factor by more than 10. So there's just like sus, little red flags. Nothing that's like detrimental in and of itself, but little red flags. Also the valuation, the fully diluted valuation of this Worldcoin right now is chilling around 20 billion when OpenAI's valuation sitting at 27 billion. We have Coinbase at 23 billion. So this entire protocol fully diluted, because it's only got 1% of the supply in circulation fully diluted, it is very, very, very expensive. Now, you got 15 years to get to that full valuation, right? So it's not like it's just going to immediately plummet. You have to look at how long it's going to take to vest and get to that fully diluted market cap. But how much is this worth? My take. And then we're going to go sit in the Crypto Night lounge, the general lounge. We're going to go have a discussion and we're going to hang out in there and discuss Worldcoin pros and cons. Should we actually add it into our portfolio? Like maybe I missed some things, maybe I didn't miss some things. My take, the crypto checklist 3.0. You guys have seen this so many times. I've shared this checklist so many times with each and every one of you. The main problem that it plans to solve, I think it's a fantastic area that it's trying to solve. Having digital identities so that you can partake and differentiate yourself from a bot is a need in the marketplace. It will be a fantastic addressable market and very, very, very valuable. How it's going about solving this problem, I don't think it needs to go about solving this problem. I would like to see a project rather than us have the little check marks, the validation marks. I would like to see us cryptographically encrypt anything created by an AI, because then we can continue to have our freedom and our liberties without like having a little patch stapled to everything we do online. Rather than have a little tracer given to us, I think we should go trace the AI generated stuff. And if companies don't provide this little like a soul-bound NFT to everything that's ever been created by an AI, if companies don't do that, then they get fined. That's what I would like to see going on. So what's the main problem? It's a good problem. This one gets a check. Overall, I think this is thumbs up. Why must someone buy it? Flat out, you don't need to buy this. Flat out, there is no actual need to buy it unless you want to govern the community. People, they use the coin to pay people to sign up to be part of it, and if you want to interact in the ecosystem and pay, then you need to have it. But like, there is no real use case for this right now. UBI down the road, maybe, but currently speaking, I don't see any actual reason for buying this other than speculating and trying to make a little bit of money. So that gets a thumbs down. It's doing it better than its competitors. There's a lot of competitors out there for making digital identities, and so that section gets a thumbs down. Tokenomics, disgusting. The inflation rate after 15 years won't be that bad. That 1.5%, that'll get a thumbs up, but the token lockups circulating versus diluted supply currently speaking is disgusting. Thumbs down for tokenomics. Initial distribution. The initial distribution is not that crazy. It's not. Actually, okay, I'd gone over this already before I started doing this, and so I knew that like I knew what my outcome should have been, but when I just started talking, I said the opposite of what I was intending on saying. The 75% of coins have already been mined They're pre-mined coins. Everything's already pre-mined. It's just locked up currently speaking. That's sketchy. That's sketchy as hell. The initial distribution, do insiders own more than 50%? Theoretically, no. But currently speaking, yes. And so it gets another red flag. That tells me 3 out of 4 of my checklist options here are a thumbs down. That's a no from me. I'm not interested in this coin. Plus, I just think it's grossly overvalued currently speaking. So, yeah, there you go. Sorry I had to interrupt the research halfway through it to go let my girlfriend in, but such is life. Hopefully you guys found some value out of this. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. Go ahead, follow the account. I'll see you in the Crypto Night Premium Research